Good morning, Little Hoes. My name is Kristen and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is kind of going to be a challenge for me. Hey, Mama. I had this harebrained idea that I should challenge myself to do a planty chore every day for a month. What are you even doing? No! Not the Stefania erecta. Yeah. I've kind of gotten swept up in the more is more with plant buying lately, and I just want to step back and appreciate the plants that I have. Not be so concerned with gotta catch 'em all. I found myself the other night in an attempt to soothe feelings, going to be importing plants from Indonesia at the beginning of September. And that is just a bad idea. My fellow cold climate friends will know you don't import plants in September. And yet I was attempting to do this. And I stopped myself and I said, Kristen, honey, you slow your roll. You don't want frozen plants. That's just going to be a disappointment. And those plants will still be available when you want them, hopefully. So I'm stepping back and trying to take care of what I have, appreciate what I have. And these last couple weeks, I've kind of been forcing myself to do some plant chores that just need to be done. And it feels good to accomplish them. And when you think about it, there's a lot more time in your day than you realize. And a lot of these chores don't really take more than 10 minutes, maybe 20. So I can do this. I hope. I hope I'm not going to be eating my words and a week and a half into this just saying book it and just moving on. But it's a challenge, and I've decided to try and post a weekly video on the 7 days of chores that I have done. So this is week 1, and let's see how frustrated I get with it. That being said, I will include even little tasks that are plant related into this. Some days I'm sure I just don't have the energy, wherewithal, time to complete a larger project. So I'm going to cut myself some slack. Even watering, even simple repotting is going to be considered a plant chore. And if any of you guys want to join along in this, feel free. I would love to see the plant chores that you accomplish in a month. Let's get into it. I've kind of compiled a list of things that need to be done, and I'm going to pick from it today and start off with day 1. I really need to get this manna hot or tapioca repotted. It's in a tiny 6-inch container and it dries out pretty fast. So I'm going to try and repot that this morning, hopefully before the sprinklers go off. It will be going into a big old ceramic pot, and I think I'm going to try and put some vermiculite in with it just to retain the moisture a little bit better. I'm hoping I don't stress this guy out too much by repotting it now, and it has enough time to recover before it starts to get cold out. I have this assumption, maybe incorrectly, that it's going to dislike winter cold intensely. But we're going to give it the old college try, and I'm going to be repotting this. Alrighty, here it is. Took less than 5 minutes to repot it. So, all in all, pretty easy beginning to this planty chore challenge. Obviously, it's not sitting up here for good. I'm just showing you. Yeah. So, first chore down, and a lot more to go. Good morning, Lil Hoes. Oh. Good morning, Lil Hoes. It is day 2, the 2nd of September of my planty chore challenge. I'm already slightly regretting this challenge because I am so tired this morning. And see, I was so perky when I woke up like at 4:30, so full of energy, and then like an hour later I went back to sleep, and now I just felt like I haven't slept at all. Yeah. So I'm gonna be kind of a Cheeto today and do kind of a simple planty task, but a planty task nonetheless. And it needs to get done because I haven't done it in a while. And that is clean my maramo mothballs. And I've had these quite a long time. I think probably 3-ish years or more. Ooh, that's bad. So, a little bit of algae going on here, and I used to be a lot better at cleaning these maybe every couple weeks, and I've just recently forgot, and it's been several months. So my process for it is I take out all the stuffings. I wash the jar pretty thoroughly, inside and out, and then I rinse off the mothballs in a cold water and slightly roll them. And most of the instruction how to for maramo say you want to lightly roll them because that's what they are getting in nature, to try and emulate the ebb flow, the rolling of the cold water over them to make them round. But you don't want to squish them too much and compact them because obviously you're squishing all the air out. So that's what I'm going to do. And yeah, I think I've also occasionally added a tiny bit of salt to the water. I don't know where I read it that they like slightly salty water. I'm not sure if it's even correct or not, but it's tradition now, so I gotta do it.
Any ideas?
And now to wash my balls. And you can see on this one, it's It's not really a great color. This is neglect. This is me neglecting to wash my balls. You can also see this one isn't round. It has a big old gaping moss cavity here. And sometimes what happens is you get baby balls that come out of that. You get little baby balls. You rip them out and you have more. That's the cycle of moss ball life. This is the birth of a moss ball.
Any ideas?
Alright, looking a little bit better. Day 2, washed my balls in the sink. Hey little hoes, welcome to September 3rd, the 3rd day in my planty chore challenge. And I've been meaning to do this for a while. I'm gonna say that's the recurrent theme. But I try and periodically wash my Monstera carstenianum foliage because it's corrugated and it gets hella dusty, guys. It's one of 2 plants that I actively have to wash down because it is so damn dusty. And what I have been doing is just getting kind of a damp washcloth or paper towel with just a little tiny bit of cooking oil on there. You could use pretty much anything you have, I would imagine. Now I know neem is a great option, but I just don't have any pure neem on hand. Or neem oil, I should say, not pure neem, but these things just collect the dust like you would not believe. And yes, I chose another kind of easy project for this morning because I kept hitting the snooze button. And I have the early shift at work, so I don't have a whole lot of time. And yes, I could probably do some of this at night, but usually I cook dinner. I try and tidy up my cooking mess before heading off to bed, so there's less time at night for me, at least on the weekdays. Also, this viney poo needs to be tied up. later. I also have some air layering going on top here. Meh. Honestly, not a lot happening right there. So we'll just seal this back up. Tinfoil just helps keep a little bit more humidity in. We'll seal this up like those leftovers that are in the back of the fridge that you peeked at and they're moldy, but you don't really want to do anything about. So you wrap it back up, you stick it back in. That's what this is. So yeah, that is going to be the quick little video for third day. I washed the leaves of the Carstenianum. See, they're much shinier now. Ooh. Oh. Goodbye. I'll see you tomorrow. Good morning, Little Hoes. It is September 4th, the 4th day of my plant chore challenge. This guy is, hopefully not was, my curly lipstick, and it was struggling. It has a very specific need for full sun, doesn't like to be overwatered, but once it gets dry, it shows it terribly. And it was not looking so hot when I had to put it outside for summer because of the sunroom, and it quickly declined even more when I brought it inside. So I'm gonna try and finally clean this guy up, see if there's anything salvageable. I think there might be. I think it will recover with a harsh haircut and maybe repot into something smaller. So that is today's video. And this table is all wet because I just hosed it down. There's a lot of debris on it, and now I'm all wet. So there's like one really decent strand. There's really not much left, but I am going to pot it back up into this. There are a few strands that are totally dead. And in my experience, these curly ones don't root up particularly well for me, so I don't think I'm even gonna bother with a lot of these strands that either fell off or I had to cut off that are so green. So this is my once beautiful curly lipstick plant. Not looking so pretty anymore, but I'm gonna try and revive it. I really do enjoy this plant. It's pretty damp still at its core, so I'm not going to water it in right now. So yeah, that is day 4. Good morning, little hoes. Today is day 5 of my planty chores, and I'm kind of at a loss for what I want to do. I have a lot of things that I want to get done, but it depends on getting other things done first. I should be doing a pretty substantial plant chore today since it's Saturday and I have all day, but I'm not gonna. I am going to do something easier, quicker, and it's going to be repotting. However, I didn't half-ass it all the way. I am going to be doing 3 things instead of just 1 repotting. These are all going to be some succulent repots today. This is going to be the Ripsalis Cereuscula. A little Stipelia variegata. I'm excited. I suddenly had a desire for more Stipelias and that family hernias. Found this guy. I still want to experiment with more like hernias and orbias. I love the flowers. And this cool guy is a Euphorbia Leuconuria or something like that. The leaves are silvery and cool, and this pot, although it does not have a drainage hole, is perfect color-wise for it. Boyfriend made it. So that is what I'm going to be doing today, guys. This is long overdue. This plant keeps wilting. I am too lazy to go find some pottery shards to put at the bottom, so the hole is plugged a little bit, so I'm just gonna use some sphagnum. Mother Nature's tampon. That seemed like cheating how fast that was. But I did do some watering this morning, and I think I might repot a few things in just like some little plastic containers that I'm going to be giving away. I have a bunch of little succulents that coworkers wanted that was a part of my yeet video, so I'll probably be trying to do that pretty soon too. But yeah, that is day 5, guys. I will see you tomorrow. Good morning, Little Hoes. Day 6 of planty chores. I've kind of lost count, to be honest. But yeah, today I am going to be repotting this little planter I got, this little hanging planter. I love sort of pieces like this that you know that they have a story. I mean, look at that face. Something fell on the floor. We're gonna ignore that. I don't know where this came from. It's very Ecuadorian, South American little pinch pot. I really like it. And boyfriend helped me put some new twine on, put an eye hook in the ceiling for it. So another planter. And then this is the Ripsalis horrida. I've had it a while. Half of it's died back. There was a lot more little tendrils in here, but I don't know if they just rotted out or what, but they started shriveling. So it's time this guy got potted up. It's just gonna be difficult since this is so tippy. Sounds like a Jiffy pellet, and nobody should ever use a Jiffy pellet. So rock hard. This is literally the hardest soil I've ever tried to work with. It's like pure peat, all compressed. Yeah, it's nasty.
Any ideas?
There we go, guys. I like it. Go water it real quick. So there it is complete, guys. Probably should have done a more in-depth chore today, but it's my Monday and I'm just not feeling it. Anyway, thanks for tuning in to day 6. Tomorrow will be the 7th and final day for week 1 planty chores. I will talk to you then. Goodbye. Good morning, Little Hoes. So today is the completion of week 1 of my planty chores a day. And I was originally thinking of doing a slightly different one today, but this guy really needs a cleanup. This is my Black Pagoda lipstick, and I took him outside because of the sunroom, and he got kind of burnt. He is recovering, so I'm just gonna pick out a lot of like the dead leaves and maybe give a little tip trim to some of the vines. So yeah. Oh, it's very big. Oh God. I don't know if you guys can even see that. Can you even see it? It's so massive. Let's scoop my booty as far back as we can go. There we go. So I am thinking about repotting this guy. Probably gonna just do another like hanging basket. I brought a couple of old plastic hanging basket containers home from work. So we'll see if maybe they're big enough to accommodate him. And you probably can't see it so far away, but some of the vines that did shed a lot of leaves are starting to come back. There's some new growth happening. Oops, I broke that one. And I'll probably do some cuttings too. Anything that looks remotely decent. Now that I'm doing this, I feel it would have been so much easier to just keep it hung up and pluck the dead leaves off. But lesson learned. Bless me.
Any ideas?
Alright guys, so I think that's it. I was planning on maybe cutting a little bit more vines off, but the fact that there's so much tiny itty bitty regrowth happening like along the stems, right at that sort of leaf axis along the stem, I'm just gonna leave it for now and see what resprouts and what doesn't. And I think with a little bit of fertilizer and a repotting, which I might do next week, it will bounce back and be as beautiful and lush as ever. That was my last video of the first week of my planty chores. Thank you all for stopping on by. And hopefully I will have enough ambition to keep going with this and do my full month of planty chores. So stay tuned. Hopefully you will see round 2 next week. Hope you all are staying safe, healthy, and sane. I will talk to you later. Goodbye.